But we've talked about the Mandalorian like crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we had separate episodes just on it in both seasons and stuff. So there's only so much we can say on top of it. But it's a fantastic show, right? I mean, it's like an incredible show. So I don't know if you guys want to reveal what spot it's in or not, but for me, it's number 2.
I want to jump in and say it's also my number 2, and it was my number 2 last year, and it was my number 1 up until I watched. So this is a tease for my number 1. Mandalorian was the number 1 spot up until just like a last week or week and a half ago when I caught up on a show that I don't know if you guys have seen, but I'll reveal it to you guys when
that's some recency bias I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
Mandalorian season 2 is my number 2 as well.
Number 2 as well. Okay. Ian, I assume it's your number 1.
So I'll just jump in with my number 2, and then maybe I'll say a couple things about Mando to wrap it up. But my number 2 is something that I also got late on, but it counts as 2020 because I believe they just finished their series and won a bunch of Emmys for it. Schitt's Creek.
You can trust me.
Okay, can I? Because the last time I left you in charge of something...
Ugh! This is about those stupid Tamagotchis?
Actually, it is.
Okay, guys. You left me with 6 of them, David. Taking care of that many is like a full-time job.
I left you with 6 adult Tamagotchis in perfect health.
Yes.
That show, I can't get enough of that show now that we've sort of discovered it in my household. It's just like a nonstop kind of binge, and we're done it now. But we also want to go back and restart it, just because when we first were being told to watch the show, we had no interest. So we watched maybe like 1, 2, maybe even 3 episodes of it initially, and we're just like, it's not really for me. And it just didn't really catch on. And then for some reason, I guess because of quarantine and just sitting around wanting to, everyone just keeps saying, oh, it's awesome and it's winning all these awards. So we gave it another go. And it really is one of those shows that grows on you because the characters, all the actors are so committed to their characters. There's great character development in there. And there's great sort of awkward humor, kind of societal comedy going on inside of Schitt's Creek. So it's about a family that was rich, and then they basically go broke and have to make it in a small town, running a motel and doing various other things to get by. So it's
some of the best Canadian content you could possibly.
Oh yeah,
I love the Levies.
Eugene Levy and his son Dan Levy are just like crushing it on that show for sure. But all of them,
I love that show.
Catherine O'Hara and everyone has their own place in that show.
I'm so glad you said that show because as 3 Canadians, we never put that show on our lists, and it deserves to be on someone's list. So.
It grew on me. I had no interest in it until this year, and
100%, man. That was me.
And now it's like can't get enough of it.
Yeah, the first couple seasons, I was like, I don't need to watch this. It's fine. It's just another Canadian comedy trying to make its way, kind of thing, which is honestly is not a high batting average.
Yeah.
And then I started watching it. I think I watched part of the 3rd season. I want to say I watched a few episodes and I go, oh man, this is great. This is hilarious. This is great. And then I went back and I started it and sort of finished it since then. I love it. It's great. Mike's right. Thank God you mentioned it.
That's good. So then I don't know. So are we done our number 2s, or
we're done? Mine's Mando. Yeah.
Oh, we're done. So I'll just finish off with my number 1. So The Mandalorian. We've talked about it ad nauseum. Another Star Wars episode on back in my day. But no, seriously,
wait, what? It is like Star Wars. No.
It's something truly special. It's all of our love for Star Wars, but now on the sort of small screen, so to speak, in the live action sphere. It's just like, it's something that I never really, and now it makes me excited for everything else to come out of even Marvel Studios and everything else, just because, I think certain shows like Game of Thrones have established that you can really do some high quality content on a television series. But now, especially with like the stuff that they're doing with the volume, and they're making Star Wars with maybe not as big a budget as the films, but it still seems like it fits within the universe, within the galaxy. So it's I don't know. It's just a really special show for me, and especially that last season finale of season 2 was, I think, my favorite episode to date. So I definitely wanted to check out. If you haven't had any sort of exposure with Star Wars, you're not really into it, it's still a decent show to check out.
How'd you make it into this podcast without watching Star Wars.
I know, seriously. What are you still doing here? Go watch The Mandalorian.
No question. Like there's no argument whatsoever. Again, we've talked about it so many
regardless
times.
of mine and Dave's choices, I think we could all give Mandalorian the show of the year from the podcast as a whole.